This story seems to be one that you all really like. I'm glad that you do, as I've been having fun writing it. It posed a lot of questions on deeper levels. The question of Naruto's existence here is the same as that which we find every day, with an example being artificial intelligence. Some people think that AI is a mistake and that man is opening a Pandora's box that should never be touched, and are sure it'll lead to the destruction of life as we know it. Others believe that AI could become the tool mankind needs to reach new heights. And while both points of view are valid, I wanted to add a third through Naruto, in saying that despite the implications of his existence, all he truly wants is a chance to fit in. The innocence of a child seeking a forever home. With this, a scenario is born in which no side is completely wrong, but the question is, will Naruto's existence end the village, or will it save it? And at the bottom of these brass tacks, should it matter? After all, is Naruto's life not his to lead? The answers to these questions will begin here, so get some popcorn and get ready to do some moon watching as I cast a genjutsu upon you, one that erases the lines between fantasy and reality and will show you a world unlike any you've ever seen. A world where Naruto is from every clan. Welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, only 25% of our viewers are subscribed, so if you're a fan of the video, please like and double check if you are subscribed. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Hiruzen and Naruto were walking down the road. Hiruzen's meeting with Shibi Aburame and Sume Inuzuka garnered the same reaction as Inoichi's. That wasn't to say either of them had any intention of revolt. After all, the techniques of these clans weren't kept in the blood, but in the secret ways of life that one couldn't be born knowing. Naruto may have had the potential to do these same things, but that didn't mean that their technique was in danger. Despite this, their DNA was pilfered, and if used correctly, could basically outdate the clans as time moved along. And if genetic manipulation had become possible due to Naruto, that would see the power clans had over the village diminish to the point that Konoha's entire way of life could be threatened. That would centralize power under Konoha's Hokage only, which would give far too much power to the head of the village and could threaten an authoritarian regime that could not be overthrown should the need arise. That was a valid concern, and Hiruzen sympathized. After all, he shared the belief that the leader of any village or nation should not be afforded more power than necessary, as that would result in the collapse of morality and could lead to the people suffering. But of all the clans he was most nervous about confronting about this, it was the Hyuga. The Hyuga's technique was practically the only one considered a Kekkei Genkai. They were jealous over their Byakugan, and Naruto had already displayed it and even unknown evolved forms of it, such as the one he called the Tenseigan and Jogan. Of all people, they would want him dead, but he felt that if he confronted them early enough, he might be able to subvert their possible actions. That was why he was still visiting these clans with Naruto. He wanted to try and convince them to see reason. They were currently on their way to see the other clans and talk with them. Right now, Hiruzen was meeting with the heads of the Akamichi clan and the Nara clan. He felt it would save time to just have the both of them meet in some place close by, so he invited them to a little tea place in the restaurant district of Konoha. There, Choza and Shikaku would meet with him, having brought their own children to play with Naruto on Hiruzen's request. As he would sit down, he'd let Naruto run free with Choji and Shikamaru. "So I assume you've heard about Naruto," he said to them. "Inoichi told us," Choza said, "though I can assure you that he and we have done our best to hide the information from the other clans," Shikaku said. "We can understand that this is a very sensitive subject that must be handled with care," Shikaku continued. Giving off a slight sigh of relief, Hiruzen smiled. "Thank you for your discretion." Shikaku then sat forward. "Lord Fourth, with all due respect, you should know that this is the most dangerous position you could be in politically right now. This boy does present himself as a threat to Konoha." Hiruzen's smile fled as he began to explain. "Shikaku, Choza, I understand your worries, but I assure you that nothing harmful will come from this. The boy could, in fact, serve as a means with which to take medical science to the next step. The end of genetic illnesses, inherited or born from the environment. It could see the human lifespan increased. I can only see good coming from this." Shikaku sighed. "Lord Fourth, can I speak freely, even if what I say may be a bit bold?" Hiruzen nodded. "Of course, Shikaku, say your piece." Shikaku was silent for a moment, trying to ensure that he had properly prepared what he wanted to say before saying it. "Lord Fourth, I know that many good things can come from studying Naruto, but you know that many bad things can come from it as well. I know you plan for him to be used for the health of mankind, but this opens a Pandora's box that severely damages individuality. Say that we do manage to learn how he was created and properly integrate it into our lives. Not only will we find ways to cure various illnesses, but we'll also open the door for other forms of gene editing for the purposes of gaining more power. When everyone is special, nobody is. And though you say that it won't be used that way, you cannot dictate what your successor will do, or who could use it for their own benefit. I truly fear that this will lead to the loss of trust within the various clans of Konoha. But you know I wouldn't let those things occur, Hiruzen said. Here comes the bold part I was warning you about, Shikaku said. I've always seen you like a father, so it pains me to say these things, but we don't believe you. You would allow these things to happen. You've always been one to give in to the requests of others, and you hardly have control over anything. In this day and age, you live as a figurehead, something to unify the people, but you hardly do anything personally to ensure our safety. Case in point, the Uchiha clan. Hiruzen knew where this was going. He looked away in shame. This did affect Shikaku, but not enough to stop him from continuing. The Uchiha clan situation was handled terribly. What happened was a scam, and we all know it. Itachi never had it in him to do what he did. There was a revolt, and he was sent in to kill them. There's no need to confirm this or a point in denying it. We know it's the truth. They were gonna revolt, and suddenly they all disappear overnight at the hands of one person? First off, it doesn't make sense how a single shinobi could eradicate the entire clan, and it seems all too convenient that they would do so when the word of coup was circulating. Shikaku sat back in his chair. It's not like we don't understand. To protect Konoha, they needed to have their ideas of a coup put down. But these actions led to the deaths of not only all treasonous shinobi, but also those who had nothing to do with it. Vendors who never awakened their Sharingan, some of them being my friends. It led to the deaths of women and children. Babies slaughtered in the crib. This wasn't a surgical strike, it was genocide. And that's why only Sasuke remains alive. And you let this happen. So pardon us if we're not afraid that we'll end up next on the chopping block when our usefulness reaches its end. A day will come when someone replaces you, someone like, heaven forbid, Danzo Shimura. And during that time, they will use the genetic information of this boy to conglomerate power. Power will be removed from the citizens and clans, and it'll be brought to the feet of this Hokage, and they will use it to impose their will. And the moment any of the clans decide to fight against him, he'll send his own squads in there to eradicate any and all offenders. Hiruzen was shocked. You really think this of me? Choza sighed. He didn't like the idea of breaking this to Hiruzen, but he realized the importance of being honest with the ones you loved. You know we love you, Hiruzen, Choza said. You're a wonderful man, kind and loving. This is not up for question. But you are easily used by those you trust and those you love. And we're afraid that those people will one day take over for you. The same people who had the entirety of the Uchiha clan killed. We fear for our clans and for our village. Us telling you this, it's not us wishing to break off or anything. It's us displaying our will of fire, that we're willing to do anything, including the hard stuff to save our village. We just want you to hear us and understand our concerns. Naruto is a threat to the balance of the village, and his continued existence here will throw the balance out of order. Hiruzen sat there and thought about what they were saying with an open mind. They were correct. This could lead to the downfall of the village. He looked out at Naruto as he played, wondering what he was supposed to do. As their meeting came to an end, he stood. Thank you for your time. I think I'll be off now. As he turned to leave, Shikaku called out to him. You know that we love you, right? Hiruzen turned back. I know you do. You love me and the village, and your honesty proves that to me. Thank you, but I have limited time in the day, and I only have one last stop to make. We'll all have a meeting about this sometime, Hiruzen. You, me, Choza, and all the other clan heads. We'll come up with an idea then. Just give us time to think about it. Hiruzen nodded. I will. He then ventured out with Naruto and headed to the Hyuga clan compound, where he planned to explain to them everything. He let Naruto do his thing. As Naruto ventured around the house, his bare feet sticking to the hardwood floor due to the heat causing the wood to sweat, he felt a bead of his own sweat rolling down the side of his face. He'd never experienced such intense heat. Was this a season? Which season was it? Had to be either spring or summer. He remembered reading about it in a book. Spring and summer were when things got warm, and fall and winter were when things got cold. As he walked, he stumbled into Hinata, and it was like love at first sight. The two hit the ground, but as she struck the floor and he fell too, their hearts soared higher. Naruto had never felt such a thing. It was as if time had slowed down for a moment and the gates of heaven had opened, cherubim hovering above, singing their euphony. As soon as Naruto touched the ground with his rear, he was already up. He walked to Hinata's side. "I'm so sorry, are you okay?" he asked. As she laid there looking up at him, her cheeks grew redder as her face scrunched up like she was about to cry. She covered her face in her hands. "Oh no, are you hurt?" At just that moment, he felt a hand grab him by his collar and throw him back against the wall. Naruto hit the wall with a thud. He rubbed the back of his head, a dull, throbbing pain present in his skull. He opened his eyes to see a boy standing there with long brown hair, alabaster eyes, and skin to match. He stood there with a strong yet calm stance. All the same, his form was imposing to Naruto. "What have you done to Lady Hinata?" the boy asked. "I accidentally walked into her as she rounded the corner. I knocked her down. I wanted to see if she was okay and she started crying. Is she okay?" Neji looked back at Hinata. She began to sit up. "Don't hurt him, Neji. He didn't mean to. I just got embarrassed. I'm not hurt." Neji lowered his stance. He then proceeded to help Naruto stand again. "My apologies. I am Lady Hinata's personal retainer." "Nonsense. You're my cousin and one of my best friends," she said as he helped her stand up again. Naruto dusted himself off and then looked up. Hinata had the same eyes as Neji, eyes Naruto recognized. "You both have very pretty eyes." "It's our Byakugan," Hinata said. "It's the special dojutsu of our clan. Only people of our bloodline can possess it." "Cool. I have it too," Naruto said as he turned them on for display. Neji and Hinata were shocked. "You possess Hyuga blood?" they asked. Naruto nodded. "I have genes from every clan, including the Hyuga." They looked at him curiously. "I can also do this." Naruto started cycling through dojutsu, including the Jogan and Tenseigan, then the Sharingan, its Mangekyo form, and the Rinnegan, before hitting the various other dojutsu in his repertoire. He then returned to Byakugan. Neji was confused. "How is this possible? This almost seems unnatural. Nobody like you has ever existed in the history of the Hyuga clan. In fact, I'm certain that nobody like you has ever existed in the history of history." Neji seemed a little protective now of Hinata, though she was more intrigued by him than anything. She pushed past Neji. "Would you like to play with us, Naruto?" Naruto smiled. "I would love to." All the while, Hiruzen was speaking to the clan head of the Hyuga. Hiyashi Hyuga sighed. "You understand why we can't allow this, correct?" Hiruzen looked down shamefully. "I understand. The Byakugan is the sacred technique of your clan, passed down from generation to generation, with only those within your clan allowed to possess it. It's guarded with the utmost care, to the point that curse marks are utilized to keep it from falling into the wrong hands. But I beg you, please, spare Naruto. He has done nothing wrong and merely wishes to live. Can you not find it in your heart to compromise?" "And what do you suppose I do? It's either death or blindness. There's no middle road. Nobody outside of the Hyuga is allowed to have the Hyuga's dojutsu. This would be a betrayal to my ancestors, as well as to my clan if I allow this to stand. You need to decide what's most important here, the village or your own personal feelings." To say that this meeting did not go well was an understatement. It was building up to a near unanimous decision that Naruto's life should end, and Hiruzen didn't know what he could or should do about it. Was he supposed to put one life ahead of an entire village? Or should he let the village decide who lived and died based upon phantom fears that had yet to truly manifest? Fears that might never be validated in an uncertain future. He had no choice other than to go home with Naruto. Naruto would sit at the table and eat. Hiruzen had a bowl of food as well, but he was not eating like Naruto was. "What's wrong, Grandpa?" Naruto asked. At this point, Naruto was getting used to calling Hiruzen Grandpa. At first, Hiruzen had thought that Naruto was just being disrespectful by calling him Grandpa due to Hiruzen's age. However, Naruto had explained that if Orochimaru was his father, then Orochimaru's father must be Naruto's grandfather. And considering that Orochimaru had nobody save his team and his mentor, that made Hiruzen Naruto's grandfather, and even made Jiraiya and Tsunade his uncle and aunt, respectively. To this end, Naruto was even starting to refer to himself as Naruto Sarutobi. Since he came from every clan, he found it hard to choose just one, so he decided to take the surname of the man who was caring for him most, and it was pretty straightforward thinking, all things considered. Hiruzen looked up at the boy. "Nothing you need to worry your little head over." Naruto sat there, disappointed for a moment. Hiruzen smiled. "Mind reading won't work either, Naruto. I know you well enough. I'm not going to let you read my mind." Naruto seemed sad now. "I just want to help and make sure that you're okay." Hiruzen couldn't help but love this boy. "I know you do, but there are some things only I can carry. So just don't worry about it. It'll all be alright." And so, as time passed along, the clans decided that they needed to hold a meeting to discuss the fate of Naruto, and for that, Hiruzen was there. They had requested Naruto's presence, and so this would be the first time Naruto would hear of their plans for him. Hiruzen sat there and kept Naruto near. Remember, Naruto, do not speak unless spoken to. Do not interrupt the adults. You're going to need to trust me, alright? As the clan heads began to file in and take their seats, the meeting began. I want to urge you to all reconsider your stances on Naruto. See him with your own eyes, speak to him with your own voices, and hear him with your own ears. For what purpose should we change our verdict, Naruto? Hiyashi asked. Verdict? Naruto questioned. I don't understand. Hiyashi and the others looked to Hiruzen. Did you not tell him? Hiyashi asked. Hiruzen shook his head. This isn't something that any child should have to bear. But you've left him without preparation. It isn't something an ordinary child should have to bear, but he isn't an ordinary child. What are you talking about? Naruto asked. Let me explain it to you, Naruto, since it seems someone here has neglected to give you due forewarning, Hiyashi said. We're here to decide your fate. My fate? Naruto asked. Hiyashi nodded. You possess genetics from every clan, and possess the Kekkei Genkai from every clan here in Konoha, past and present, and even a few we don't recognize. That makes you a danger to everyone, and that has left us to decide. Decide what? Naruto once again questioned. Hiyashi took a deep breath and let it out. Decide whether you should live or die. What? Naruto began to panic as tears of terror began to well up in his eyes. Why? Why do you want me to die? I just got here. I just started living. Your life poses an imminent threat to the village, its stability, and its citizens. You're too powerful, and what's worse, it seems you're easily created. The village wants to replicate what's within you in hopes of solving life's greatest issues. And why is that bad? Naruto demanded. Because if they do, that could make clans obsolete, and would conglomerate too much power to the central government, and would likely be a death sentence to the liberty of each citizen of the village. Hiruzen then spoke. I think you're being too rash. Genetics are far from the only power that can be used and abused. Some of you still have secret techniques. But you have more, Hiyashi said. You have a scroll filled with all of the most forbidden techniques in existence, and the only things we have that can stand against it are our secret techniques, which he somehow seems to know. I've read the reports. He possesses the shadow paralysis jutsu of the Nara clan. Did you tell them that? Or did you hide it? He possesses the raw mental power of the Yamanaka clan. It won't take him long to discover these powers. We're talking about more than Kekkei Genkai. We're talking genetic memory. That's just a theory, Hiruzen said. There's no proof that memory can be transferred through genetics. Is it though? Naruto is living, walking proof of that. He possesses all of our techniques, which are our only line of defense protecting us from you, keeping us from becoming the next Uchiha clan. You have the most powerful shinobi in all of history standing right there, and you're planning to learn how to recreate him. We know this because you've said it. We cannot let that happen. He must be destroyed. Hiruzen went to raise a finger, but suddenly stopped when he felt Naruto fall into his shoulders, sobbing. Why do they want to destroy me? I thought they were my family. You told me they were my family, Grandpa. You said they'd love me. Why do you want to kill me? Hiruzen looked down at Naruto and hugged him. Naruto continued. You said to trust you and that you would protect me, but I'm scared. What if they make you do it anyway? I don't want to die. I don't want to disappear forever. I want to live. I only just started. I only woke up a couple months ago. Are they going to take it away? Are they going to take my life away? Hiruzen almost began to break down into tears as well. He looked at the others. Please, you must reconsider. You think that this is good? How can the removal of life, innocent life from a child, be good? You say it's for the greater good, but it's only for selfish reasons. You say clans will be obsolete, and that you simply want what's good for members of your clans, but this boy, he is a member of your clan, and if you can't protect him, how can you protect the rest of your clan? It takes more than genetics to be a member of our clan, Hiyashi stated. Hiruzen looked to him. What does it take? A technique? He has that too. Or are you admitting that your techniques are not what makes your clan what they are? The room fell silent. You fear the future. So many people could benefit, including your own clan. Listen, with or without Naruto, your people could be oppressed. That's how government works. That's why it's your responsibility to take the will of fire into your own hands. You must make this village what you want it to be. Look at this boy. He pushed Naruto out to show them. They had seen him cry, weeping bitterly out of fear. Is this the strongest shinobi that you're so afraid of? He is but a child, crying for fear of what you'll do to him. He pulled Naruto back. When the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju, founded this nation, he did so in hopes that the entire village would become a single clan, one family, in hopes that this would inspire them to protect each other. He did so to ensure that no child had to die because of war or because of issues between clans, to end violence. This conversation, this is not the will of fire. This boy represents everything that Hashirama Senju believed in, and if you kill him, then you kill Konoha's future. Is this how you always want it to be? A single village with lines drawn in the sand where children are segregated to their own communities? What do you expect to do if a woman of the Hyuga marries someone of another clan with an equally important Kekkei Genkai, like say an Uchiha? Would you demand that the Uchiha become a Hyuga? Would that not be the same as an Uchiha taking her from you? And what of the child who would have one of each dojutsu? Would you want to kill it too? Just think about what you're doing. You want to protect your clan. This boy is a member of your clan. Hiyashi thought about it. You act like we want the blood of a child on our hands. Hiyashi looked around. We have families too, and we're scared for them. The same as you're scared for Naruto. So tell us, what are we supposed to do then? Hiruzen looked around the table at them all. Treat them as a member of your clan. Are you sure you want that? Hiyashi asked. Hiruzen nodded. If it keeps him alive, then do so. Hiyashi sighed. Fine. He stood and walked over to Naruto. He would put his hand on the boy's forehead, and with a pulse of chakra, he would brand him with the curse mark. Naruto would cry out in pain and agony. Hiruzen was shocked. What did you do? You asked me to treat him like a member of our clan. If you want him to live and keep his dojutsu, then we need insurance that his cannot be stolen from him at the very least. And we need assurance that no matter what, we have the capabilities to control him and kill him if necessary. Hiruzen watched as Naruto fell limp. If you want the boy alive, Hiruzen, we'll keep him alive. But I think I can speak for all of us when I say this. If we find out that you're using the knowledge that you gained from this boy to build an army of Kekkei Genkai enhanced soldiers, we will not stand for it, and we will overthrow the village. We'll kill him and every other genetically altered soldier that you make. So heed my warning, and be careful with how you use him. And with that, the meeting was over. Everyone proceeded out of the room. Each of the members, as they left, walked over and placed their hand on Naruto, as if showing support. As the last of them, Inoichi, stopped. I'm sorry, Lord Fourth. While I agree to a point with Hiyashi, I don't agree with his decision to brand Naruto. We're going to have a discussion with him. We feel that was an infringement on our rights as well. We'll ensure that he never uses that mark without our express permission. He would then pat Naruto's head, not that Naruto knew. He was unconscious. Hiruzen just sat there silently with Naruto. Naruto had lost his freedom to the village. Hiruzen began to contemplate the village and how it worked, the hypocrisy of the clans. They were whining for their own freedom while demanding that the basic human rights of another be violated, all before taking away the freedom of an individual. Hiruzen began to wonder what liberty was at all, and how to promote it without overstepping his bounds. Looking at the curse mark, he realized that every member of the Hyuga possessed it outside of the main branch, of which Hiyashi was a part of. With the ability to harm and even kill in the palm of their hands, in one night, a single rogue Hyuga clan member could kill the whole clan, and nobody could stop them. They forced jobs upon the Hyuga, as well as duty, and punished them for failing to deliver. How was that different from slavery? Hiyashi was afraid that the entire village would become the same thing that his own clan was. This was the issue. But what could he do? How could he fix this? If he attempted to force his will upon every clan, that would lead to an uprising. Was this really what the village was going to be? Hiruzen finally stood, cradling Naruto in his arms, and he'd simply walk out of the meeting room. Naruto rested for the remainder of the day. The day after, he was really upset. He at least seemed happy that he wasn't going to die. However, he was very upset because even though he would live, he was now under the thumb of the Hyuga, and there was dread in his heart in knowing that at any moment Hiyashi could just pull the plug and kill him. As he sat on the swing set, he swung gently back and forth. It wouldn't be long before Hinata and Neji appeared there by him. Naruto? Naruto didn't seem to be in much mood to talk to a Hyuga. Not because he was mad at Hinata or Neji, but because they reminded him of the situation that had him on the edge of a constant panic attack. Can I sit down, Naruto? Hinata asked. Naruto nodded. She sat on one of the swings nearby, while Neji sat on the other side. Are you okay? She asked. Naruto shook his head. I got this thing in my head now. And if Hiyashi ever decides to kill me for any reason, he can just do it. Neji then spoke. I understand the feeling. Naruto looked over. You do? Neji nodded. He then begrudgingly removed his forehead covering to display an X-shaped mark. Naruto saw it. You have the same mark. Neji nodded. Every Hyuga has one. Well, almost every one of them. Lady Hinata does not, nor does Lady Hanabi, because they're main branch members. We're told that the mark is to protect the specific techniques of our clan, of which you possess. Should we die, or should anyone try to remove our eyes will be sealed away so they can never be transplanted. I wish I didn't have them. Hinata looked over. Naruto, there's no reason to be scared. My dad isn't mean. But if he put that on you, it's because he decided he doesn't want you to die. But he can't give up his duty to his clan. You're special. And your eyes, every form they take, they're beautiful. You should never be afraid of them, nor should you dislike them. Your eyes and your genes, they connect you to me. That makes you a member of my clan, and that's very important to me. You're very important to me. Neji sat there and swung back and forth. I mean, you wanted to be a part of our family. You said so yourself, and now you are. That mark is proof. Hinata smiled. I like you, Naruto. I'll talk to my dad and make sure he doesn't hurt you. You don't have to be scared. I also heard the other clans talking to him, telling him that if he makes any decisions without their permission, that he'll face consequences. That means the chances he'll use it against you are lower than him using it against me, Neji said. Whoop-de-doo. He jumped from the swing as soon as it reached its highest point, landing on the ground with enough force to kick up dust. Come on, Lady Hinata. This conversation's bumming me out. I think I want to stop for ice cream to help me forget that I'm a member of the slave labor force. Hinata stopped swinging. I think I'm gonna go now, Naruto. It was nice talking to you. She stopped for a moment and then kissed his cheek. She ran off after Neji. Naruto sat there silently and proceeded to swing a bit more, but as time passed, he eventually stood up and proceeded to leave the playground. As he did, he noticed something. Sitting by the river on a little dock for fishing boats was Sasuke. He was throwing stones out at the surface, causing ripples in the water. He was trying to skip them. He pulled his arm back at an angle before throwing with all of his might. The stones skipped over the water about 7 times before stopping. Naruto was intrigued. He walked down to him. What are you doing? Sasuke was silent for a moment. Water cutting. It helps me perfect my throw. Naruto watched. Can you teach me? Sasuke scoffed. You have the Sharingan, don't you? Just watch how I do it. Naruto then realized that he could do it. He activated his Sharingan. Sasuke pulled back his arm and began to toss the stone. Can I try? Naruto asked. Sasuke tossed a stone up to him. Naruto pulled his arm back and tried to throw it, but let go too quickly and accidentally murked a duck. Oops. Sasuke stood. No, like this. He then pulled his arm back again and tossed the flat stone across the surface of the water. It skimmed and jumped and went about 5 times. Not my best throw. Naruto would then try to mimic what he did. He pulled back and then let go. The stone skipped 6 times. Wow, not bad for a beginner. Sasuke turned around. He then noticed Naruto's curse mark. What's that? Naruto touched the mark with a little shame. Oh, it's the curse mark the Hyuga planted on me to control me. Sasuke scoffed. Bull, that should be illegal. He skipped another stone. Still, you should be a little proud of it. Why? Naruto asked. Because it's proof that your potential is so great that the Uchiha are scared that you'll be a threat. And with the eye of the Uchiha, why wouldn't you? Naruto smiled. I just hope I get to live a normal life. Sasuke shook his head. That'll never happen. Then again, what is normal anyway? Together the two talked and played. Despite this moment being short and somewhat uneasy, Naruto enjoyed it. This was ice breaking underfoot. This was Naruto finally managing to do that thing that Hiruzen said would happen. This was him befriending Sasuke. This made Naruto happy. But all the same, as he watched Sasuke return home, Naruto knew that he needed to go home as well. So he turned and began to walk back to the Hokage's residence. Despite everything, he was starting to feel a little better. At least he was still alive, and in the end, that's all that mattered. And that's where I'm gonna call it today. I hope you don't mind. This chapter goes to show that fear and hypocrisy oftentimes go hand in hand, but it also shows that oftentimes it's through fear and tough times that the glass becomes clear, and we realize what is wrong with ourselves and the world. Only by seeing first can we ever begin to do anything about it. I hope you all enjoyed the chapter. If you did, make sure you leave a comment and let us know. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any other new videos when they come out. And if you can't wait for said videos, here are some others I think you might like. Until then, peace out.